Hello and welcome to Ullswater Heights, and we'll have a full explanation as to why we're here very shortly. But what are we doing here? Well, we're doing a double-headed draw today. We've got the semi-finals of the AB Sundex 1895 Cup with a Wembley final at stake, of course. And we're also going to be doing the draw for the quarter-finals of the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup as well. So exciting times to look ahead to in the next few minutes. We're joined, very pleased to say, by Karen Morehouse, who is, I have to look at this because it's a very long title, the RFL's Chief Regulatory Officer. It sounds a mouthful, but we're here for a wonderful day. Let's talk about the 1895 Cup first of all. How important is this in the RFL calendar?
It's a really important event. It's a fantastic opportunity for those clubs below Super League to have the opportunity to go and play at Wembley, which is something that their players and their fans must aspire to. We launched the AB Sundex 1895 Cup back in 2019. Obviously last year it wasn't able to happen due to COVID, but it had so much energy behind it in 2019, and I know all the clubs were so keen for it to be back in 2021, and we've got 4 very excited semi-finalists all looking forward to potentially playing at Wembley. It's been a while for a number of them, and Widnes obviously wanting to win this time round, having been losing finalists back in 2019.
A quick word on ticket sales, because of course it's a double header that day with the Challenge Cup final as well. What are ticket sales looking like? What is the potential for that day?
Absolutely. Look, I know myself, along with every other fan of sport, is desperate to get back to watching rugby league. In the case of the Challenge Cup and the 1895 Cup final double header, we had an initial allocation of around 20,000 tickets. They've pretty much gone. I think now is your last opportunity to grab one of those initial allocation. We are really hopeful that there will be more tickets available. We're obviously in close dialogue with the government, with DCMS, and of course with Wembley, around where we will be as a country in terms of the number of spectators that can attend sporting events, but we really hope that there will be more tickets available for that day. Okay, well, fingers crossed, but it's an exciting final we're looking ahead to. We're going to be doing the semi-final draw in just a moment, so let's remind ourselves of that inaugural AB Sundex 1895 Cup from a couple of years ago.
Wembley Stadium, the inaugural 1895 Cup final between Widnes Vikings and the Sheffield Eagles. Dropped one off, a lovely line from Arvad. Great pass at the line, and they've worked their way through. They'll take it to line. Brown goes for the line. Has Brown forced his way in? The try is awarded. And now Gustek's got it, and Gustek get it to Brown, and Sheffield have taken the lead. Here comes Pig, is it? They're robbed through the middle. It's a hat-trick for Aaron Brown that might just have taken the 1895 Cup back to South Yorkshire, and Sheffield Eagles can start the party. They have won here. The inaugural AB Sundex 1895 Cup has been won by the Sheffield Eagles. Trophy for Sheffield Eagles. They were victorious in 1998, and they have conquered again here in 2019.
So these are the 4 teams who will be hoping they'll be singing their victory song in the Wembley dressing room this year. Featherstone number 1, Swinton number 2, Widnes number 3 and York City Knights number 4. All very nervous at this stage, and the gentleman alongside me, who you can see right now, is Grant Gidman, and Grant is the marketing director of Leisure Resorts, which owns this wonderful place where we are today, Ullswater Heights. First of all, tell us a little bit about this place.
Well, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to be hosting such a prestigious draw. Ullswater Heights, we opened in July 2019, so we're relatively young. We've developed it now to 106 holiday homes available to rent. We also allow ownership here as well, so you know, it's evolving every day and every time. But yeah, it's great to be here on the deck of our bar and restaurant.
Yeah. Overlooking a lake, which we're not going to have a dip in there.
Fantastic. It's too cold.
It's too cold.
It's far too cold. Yeah,
we're in the North Lakes, and there's always a bit of rugby. There's a bit of a rugby league heritage around here as well, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, just off the M6, which is, you know, a hotbed of rugby league, of course.
Yeah. Excellent. Right, to the draw. 4 balls to put in the in our carton there, if you can.
I will indeed.
Make sure you give them a good whiz around as well. I will. Don't forget, we've got the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup draw coming up a little later, but for the moment, the AB Sundex 1895 Cup. Let's find out who the semi-finalists will be playing. Home and away, by the way, so first ball out will have home advantage. And the first ball out is? Number 4, and that is York City Knights, Wembley finalists in 1931.
Okay.
Let's find out who they will be playing at their fabulous new stadium. And
Number 2.
Number 2 against the Swinton Lions, who've never been to Wembley. So there's loads of history at stake in that semi-final. So let's just confirm who the home team is in the other semi-final. Number 1 is Featherston Rovers. We know their fabulous Challenge Cup final history, of course, 83, 93, all of that, 73, 74. And they're up against the Cup Kings of Widnes, number 3. So let's just, thank you, Grant, by the way, let's just remind ourselves as to the way that draw has come out. York City Knights will be at home to Swinton Lions. Featherston Rovers will be at home to Widnes Vikings, and those ties, those semi-finals, will be played on the weekend of June the 5th and 6th, and you can already feel the tension mounting. To thank you to Grant, we've got the Women's Challenge Cup draw coming up very soon, but for the moment, we'll see you in a second. So welcome back. If you were with us earlier, welcome. If you're joining us for the very first time, what we're going to do next is the draw for the quarter-final of the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup. And very pleased to say that Karen Morehouse from the RFL is back with us as well to talk a little bit about this. The women's game has, I mean, it's been in hiatus for the last 12 months, but before and right now it feels as though it's really beginning to boom again.
Absolutely, it's so exciting to have Women's Super League and the Women's Challenge Cup back after, as you say, a year off in 2020. The first match was the weekend before last, the Challenge Cup round last weekend. We've had great coverage, we've had more broadcast exposure than previously. We had around 300,000 people watching on Twitch. And then we've also now got a highlights programme on Monday nights on Sky where you can get the highlights from a women's game from the weekend, which is fantastic. I'd say it's such an important year for the women's game, building up to the World Cup at the end of this year. And no doubt there's plenty of players who want to show their best so that they can stand the best chance of playing at that World Cup, which will be so important for the sports. And really, from an RFL perspective, what's really pleasing is that seeing the women play at Women's Super League seems to be really inspiring women and girls throughout the country to take up the sport. Already, we're standing at an increase in 70% in the number of women's teams and a really impressive number of additional girls' teams playing as well. So there is only good news around the women's sports, and we remain really grateful for Betfred's support in both the Women's Super League and the Challenge Cup.
Okay, well, the last time the Women's Challenge Cup took place was, of course, a couple of years ago because of all the COVID issues, but what a fantastic final we had at Bolton Wanderers Stadium when Leeds Rhinos beat the Castleford Tigers, and here's a reminder of how it went.
It's a crushing run here from Rhiannon Marshall. Scores against her own club, and the Castleford Tigers take the lead in the cup final. A kick to the corner. This is a chase, and that's a brilliant take. Superb from Frank Goldthorpe. Gets it away to Courtney Hill. Has she got the pace to outstrip the Covey? Yes, she has. She ghosts her way through and scores a huge try. Credit for the initial break. Courtney Hill finishes it off. Leeds Rhinos have defended their crown. They beat the Tigers in 2018 at Warrington, and they have beaten them again.
Oh, it's so many emotions. To win it last year was incredible, but to go back to back, especially off, Castleford handed it to us a good few months ago, and to come back, the character of the girls is shown, and what an incredible game today to be a part of, yeah.
So, 8 teams still with dreams of winning the competition this year. Those are the numbers: 1 Bradford Bulls, 2 Cass Tigers, 3 Featherston Rovers, 4 Leeds Rhinos, 5 St Helens, 6 Warrington Wolves, 7 Wigan Warriors and 8 York City Knights. Who is it going to be, and who will play who? Well, let's get straight down to the draw. Alongside us, we've got Laura Beaumont, who's the marketing director of AB Sunbex, who's going to help us make the draw here. So, Laura, if you'd like to put those balls into that casket and give them a good swirl once they're in there as well, just to make sure they're all nicely mixed up. And here we go with the draw, and our first team is
6.
number 6, and that is Warrington, who beat Huddersfield at the weekend, one of the new teams in the Super League, and they'll be at home against number 2 Castleford Tigers. So Warrington against Castleford Tigers. It sounds like a mouth-watering tie. Here we go. Number 5 is St Helens, another of the real powerhouses of the women's game. Few star players at Saints this year.
Against number 3.
And they will be up against Featherstone. So St Helens against Featherstone. Terrific stuff. Next one out of the hat.
Right.
Number 8 is York City Knights, who beat Wakefield in the first round.
It's number 7.
And they'll be playing against Wigan Warriors. So York City Knights against Wigan Warriors. And I think we've got
2
one
left.
to go.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Leeds Rhinos. And if it all works out like it should, this is going to be a
2.
local derby.
Number 1.
And they'll be up against the Bradford Bulls. So Leeds Rhinos against the Bradford Bulls. Laura, thank you very much for that one as well. Some will be cursing you, some will be thanking you for that draw. Let's just remind ourselves as to how they've come out. Warrington Wolves against Cass Tigers, St Helens against Featherston Rovers, York City Knights against Wigan Warriors, and Leeds Rhinos against the Bradford Bulls. And all those ties will be played on Sunday, May the 9th. So, good luck to all those players involved in that competition, the Betfred Women's Challenge Cup. Good luck as well to everybody involved in the AB Sundex 1895 Cup as well. Wembley awaits, big days await, and we'll see you next time we do a draw. Goodbye.